Hey viewers, Doug here with some more Draw Doug Draw. And hold on, got my retainer in here. Alright, what we're looking at here is me doing my word bubbles for pages 22 through 26, I believe, of chapter 1 of my comic, Ultimate Theater, which can be read at ultimatetheater.com. That's ultimate-theater.com is how you gotta type it into the address bar. I wanted it to just be one word, ultimatetheater.com. That domain name was bought, so it has to be ultimate-theater.com. Yeah, so what we're looking at here is me working through my process at doing my word bubbles in Manga Studio Pro. It's now called Clip Studio Pro. I thought this thing was Manga Studio Pro, but so the way I kind of went about my dialogue in this comic, it's a little bit backwards compared to how I've every how to make comics thing I've read, which is anytime you see comic artists doing their storyboards, they typically draw in their dialogue bubbles and their dialogue, and they do that first and then do the art around it usually. I didn't do that because I kind of wrote my chapter outlines and all my beats out and storyboarded out all of my beats with the pictures first. Just basically knowing what I wanted to be said, but not what the specific dialogue was. I knew the gist of what needed to be exchanged between the characters, but I didn't want to waste time trying to think about dialogue. I just kind of wanted to move it along and get the idea across with the pictures, like 80% with my pictures. So what we kind of see here is me figuring out what they're actually going to say and really more adjusting my dialogue to fit in the art so it doesn't cover up too much of it. And actually this worked to my benefit, I think, in the end, because it forced me to be economic with my words, to simplify things down, which I think works better. It makes people sound a little bit more natural when they're only saying a sentence or two. It's not getting over wordy. No one's saying a billion sentences. Like Doc's saying very simple things. It makes it easier and more fun, I think, for people to kind of pick up and read on. At least it made it for me that way. I kept approaching this constantly looking at it as me, how I read any comic for the first time. Like, is the flow okay? Am I going through this all right? And this is sort of how my brain was working as I kind of worked through this. So yeah, this is just sort of me figuring out a bunch of stuff. Ooh, long pause here. I must have been me walking away from the computer for a second. But it's gonna pick up for a second in a moment here. So while we're thinking about that, I'm gonna talk to you about that's actually funny. I saw me hitting pause there, and it made me realize I think I thought I hit pause when I was recording the screen capture, and I actually didn't, and it just kept recording anyway. Alright. That all aside, what we're looking at, oh yeah, let's talk about my favorite antagonist for this first issue of Ultimate Theater, which is the Game Master NobuNada, as he's running NobuNada Games. So NobuNada is pretty much par for the course for most Earthlings that you'll find on Planet Kappa. Most of them are kind of unsavory characters, hucksters running their own little Earthling schools where they can get players to play their games for prizes, almost like running their own little arcades in a weird way. You know, you can win prizes there, but you gotta pay your own prizes to pay to get in there in the first place. Now, the reason they do this at Kappa, on Planet Kappa and not on Planet Earth, is the school system is run on Earth, but it's run by more competent game masters and school masters. So usually, like, a lot of the losers will go to Kappa because it's an easier way for them to come get a school up and running, because the Kappa themselves don't run the system. It's something particular to the Earthlings themselves. The Kappa themselves just play typically one game they like, which will be discussed in issue 2, and they really don't venture outside of that. They play the Earthling games more for kicks, and I would suppose it's more for the reason you would just go into an arcade than for the kind of game that they actually like to play. It's more of a novelty type thing, and like they kind of get like pulled in by an Earthling selling them, hey, come here, you can win some fancy prizes if you want to play. And that's sort of the main gist. And NobuNada is just as typical as any of them. Yeah, NobuNada is just as typical as any Earthling running his own little school out here. So our first encounter with him here is Doc, another wide-eyed Kappa who thinks he's just like, I'm getting another yokel to join my school and pay some prizes. And as we see here, he doesn't treat, in this ending page here, he doesn't treat the Kappa very well in his games, as he has a popped Kappa. They just kind of throws out of his little house at the end. He goes, another 5 prizes if you want to play. And the Kappa just runs right out of there. It's just sort of a little bit of a joke and some foreshadowing of letting Doc know maybe you got into a little bit more than you bargained for here. But yeah, just a little bit of foreshadowing of what's to come, I guess. But yeah, if you want to check out more, you can check out and read chapter 1 of Ultimate Theater at ultimatetheater.com and see some of this finished art. What we have here is what the finished art ends up looking like. And yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this, and stay tuned to the next episode.